Hello and welcome to East Carolina University. My name is Jessica Jewell and I'm a sophomore here at ECU. I'm standing in the main part of campus known as the Mall. This beautiful and historic lawn is the center of the 47 acres of land that composed ECU's original campus when the school first formed in 1907. Many tour groups pass through this part of campus. Some are groups of prospective students, others are alumni groups coming back to campus. While I can't give you the same tour, I would love to share with you some of the rich history of this special place. This beautiful structure is known as the Cupola, and it sits at the heart of the mall. Within 100 yards of this spot, we can walk through buildings that were here when the first students arrived in 1909 and that are still used today as dormitories, offices, and classroom buildings. In 3 short videos, I want to share with you some of the highlights of the history of the mall on main campus and tell you about the people who had the vision and the determination to create this place more than a century ago. Our tour starts with Jarvis Residence Hall, which is named for former North Carolina Governor and U.S. Ambassador Thomas Jarvis. Because of his invaluable leadership in the establishment of the university, Jarvis is considered the father of East Carolina. He was governor from 1879 to 1885 and then was appointed U.S. Ambassador to Brazil by President Grover Cleveland. He was ambassador there for 4 years. As Greenville's most famous citizen, Governor Jarvis came out of retirement to lead a community effort to attract the new teacher training school the state legislature had just created for eastern North Carolina. Several towns bid for the school, and Greenville won the competition. Jarvis led a committee to build 6 buildings for the new school. When the committee was designing the buildings, Jarvis thought back to his years in Brazil. While serving as ambassador, he came to appreciate the use of Spanish tile that was common in public buildings there. He knew that red tile roofs and high-arched windows and doorways keep a building cooler in the summer. Jarvis used this in all 6 of the original campus buildings. The style also was followed in several buildings that came later. It's a unique look that gives the mall its old-world charm and warm personality. Jarvis, Old Austin, and Wilson faced 5th Street, which at the time was a dirt road. 5 years after the school opened, trustees built a home for its first president, Robert H. Wright, directly across from the school on 5th Street. Wright was president from 1909 until his death in 1934. The original president's house is still used today and houses the university's Career Services Center. Jarvis has been continually used as a residence hall for 104 years. It's been renovated many times and today is a comfortable, high-tech home for 130 students. This and other dorms nearby are popular with students because they're convenient to the classroom buildings just across the mall. We'll visit those later. Now let's walk to the west end of the mall and visit the school's original infirmary, what we know today as the Mamie Jenkins building. As we walk that way, we pass the Jenkins Fine Arts Center, which was built in 1968. It occupies the site of the original administration building, called Old Austin, and the original women's dormitory, Wilson Hall. As they aged, both of those original buildings suffered from structural problems and had to be torn down. However, the distinctive cupola atop the roof of Old Austin, which stood high over the campus for 59 years, remains alive today in the twice life-size replica where we started our tour. Now we're here at what was the infirmary when the school opened in 1909. Today, it's home to ECU's growing honors college, where I am a student. This was an important building when the campus was struck by the Spanish influenza epidemics in 1918 and again in 1922. In 1918, the infirmary ran out of beds and part of Wilson Hall was taken over for 6 students. During the 1922 epidemic, the entire campus was quarantined for 9 weeks. With the caring attention of the school physician, Dr. Charles Laughinghouse, and the campus nurse, Mittie Beeman, not one student was lost during the epidemics. After Beeman died in 1926, the student body erected a monument to her memory. In 1954, the building was named for Mamie Jenkins, one of the 12 original faculty members. She taught here for 36 years. In 1929, the school built a larger infirmary further down the mall. The experience with the epidemics showed that the original infirmary was uncomfortably close to the dining hall, which is just next door. The Old Cafeteria Building is another of the original 1909 campus buildings. This was the school's original dining hall, and it was part of a larger complex called the refectory. The refectory included a large kitchen and a laundry facility. The cafeteria and the laundry were supplied with electricity generated by the powerhouse. The tall chimney of the original powerhouse towered over the mall until the 1970s. What we know now as the Old Cafeteria Building was just 6 years old when it almost was destroyed by fire. On the night of April 1st, 1915, a fire thought to have started in an oven destroyed the roof. Luckily, most of the dining room furniture was saved, but suddenly the school had no way to feed the nearly 200 students and faculty. Before the fire was out, President Wright called the student body together in the auditorium at midnight. He said everyone should go home for the next week, which just happened to be Easter. Early the next morning, townspeople made breakfast for students, and most were then put on trains for home. This was East Carolina's first spring break. With a superhuman effort, it was back in working order by April 12th when the students returned. In 1928, a much larger power plant was built on the east end of the mall. After it moved, the dining hall took over its old space. Today, the Old Cafeteria Building houses several campus offices like financial aid and the advising center. East Carolina's rich history remains alive today in these three buildings that remain from the original campus. In our next video, we will continue our walking tour of the mall by visiting the buildings that sprang up during the roaring 1920s.